Good morning, my loves. Let's have a quick chat about the full moon in Virgo happening on the 24th of February. Now, if you watched the forecast for the week, you probably already heard me talk about this full moon. And in this video, I just want to go a little deeper into what I already said. So this is a full moon in Virgo, which means we have a moon in Virgo opposing the sun in Pisces. And this is the axis of health, but this is also the axis of spirituality and connecting the two. And what we really learn here is how our spiritual health is either contributing to our physical health or the opposite. So health is going to be a big topic here. Physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, all of it. This is the full moon every year where we focus on that, where we also get an insight and a better understanding of what it actually means to be holistically healthy, right? Like where we are, where we connect the emotions with the mental, with the physical, and everything works together. Everything is aligned. And if we feel a little out of whack, mentally, emotionally, or physically, we know that we are not aligned. Because if we would be aligned, then neither part would be a little wacky. So the question then is, what can we do if we feel out of alignment, physically, emotionally, mentally, or in all parts, which is often the case? What do we do? Where do we start? What do we address first? Well, generally we address the most urgent one first, right? But then, and the most urgent sometimes is the physical. We need to understand that every physical ailment that we feel somewhere in the body, that we experience somewhere in the body, has the origin in the emotional and in the mental. And that healing, this is also something that we learn on this axis, the Virgo-Pisces axis, that healing the physical, any physical ailment, requires you to be in a safe emotional space. How does that actually look like? How can you apply that? Well, your nervous system needs to be aligned. So when we talk about the nervous system, we talk about the nervous system from the perspective of the sympathetic nervous system, which is fight and flight. It's where we are like running away from the saber-toothed tiger. It's when we are stressed, that's when we are in our sympathetic nervous system. And then we have the parasympathetic nervous system where all the healing happens. There is no healing in the sympathetic nervous system. When we are in fight and flight, when we are under stress, there is no healing, period, the end. There's no discussion. There is no discussion. You cannot heal if you are ill right now. If you're sick and you still run to work and you go there and you have to take care of this and take care of that, you cannot expect to heal. Your hormonal composition is not supporting healing. You cannot be in fight and flight if you want to heal. So the first layer here is what you will have to do. You'll have to get into your parasympathetic nervous system. And how do you do that? Well, if you're sick, oftentimes what do? You're in bed. You lay low. You don't do anything. You sleep. I know it sounds very simple and simplified, but we often make it too complicated. We got to get back to basics. Healing doesn't have to be complicated and complex. I know sometimes it is. I understand that. But generally, it is very basic. We gotta get out of the stress. And I know in the world we live in, that is probably the most difficult thing to do, to get out of this stress, this stressful life that we've got ourselves in as a society, and back into a peaceful mind where we can surrender. In the peaceful state where we can surrender and where we can then heal. So it generally is quite an intense moon. This year it's intensified because the sun is conjunct Saturn on one side and Mercury on the other. So I believe what this moon is highlighting is, I said this in the weekly forecast, what do we need to get serious about in our lives? What do you need to get more serious about? This can relate to your health, and in one way or another, it probably will relate to your health. Maybe in a very direct way, where maybe you're smoking and you want to stop smoking, or maybe you're drinking and you want to stop drinking. But it can also come in a very indirect way, where it relates to your relationship, that maybe you're in a relationship that is not healthy, that is not contributing to your health, and you have to change the relationship to be healthier, to become healthier mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So it is a big moon. I would not underestimate it. By no means. Every time Saturn touches the moon, the full moon or the new moon, in a way, we need to get really, really serious. And we are also talking about karmic lessons here. There are karmic lessons to learn, and they will most likely be learned in a way that doesn't feel good. You might have to set stronger boundaries for yourself, for your life. You might have to change the framework completely for your life, where you're going, where you're heading. We are talking about Virgo, and Virgo is representing the 6th house. And the 6th house is our day-to-day life, the way we spend our day-to-day life. How are you spending your day-to-day life? Is it serving you in the now? And is it taking you? Where is it taking you? Is it taking you where you want to go? What are you building? What are you growing? Are you living a life that is growing something that you actually want to grow? There are big questions on this full moon. Really big questions. And by the way, if you have this in Pisces or Virgos, meaning if you are Virgo rising or Pisces rising, also if you are Pisces or Virgo, this moon will most likely hit you stronger. Also, if you're Sagittarius and Gemini, because there's a square here between Gemini and Sagittarius and this moon. So one of those 4 signs, this moon is really, really important for you. Take time, and you know me, I always say on every full moon and every new moon, take some time to yourself. And just sit back, observe where you're at. Do you want to be there? Do you actually want to be there? And if not, how are you going to get out of that? How are you going to get out of there? This is my advice. Also, with everything Saturn, a plan is a good idea. Saturn loves making plans, loves it. So if you can make a plan of like changing and shifting something, Saturn will be very supportive of that. The Saturn energy loves making plans and loves to have like some kind of structure to move forward. So big moon, probably big shifts in your life. Like I said, specifically if you are a Pisces, Virgo, Gemini and Sagittarius. And if you have any questions about this full moon, feel free to ask. If you would like a personal reading, see where that falls, this moon falls in your chart and what all of this means for you, you can book a reading in the link in the description box below. If you want to work with me one-on-one on a coaching basis, we can do this together. You can send me an email, we can have a little chat and see where you're at and where you want to go. And anything else, feel free to ask. I wish you a beautiful week, and I'll see you in the next video.